everybody to Stay Tuned Sports. It's your boy King. It's your good friend Jimbo right over there. And bit of a slow news day. Not a lot happening in the last couple days here. You know, we'll try to make a show out of it. We'll try to get we'll piece it together. We'll try to piece it together. We'll get things together here. Don't worry about it. We'll try to make it as entertaining as possible here, everybody. Again, thank you so much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports. As I said, I'm King. That's Jimbo. If you want to help us out real quickly, let's get the plugs out of the way. Hit that like button for us. It certainly helps us out with the algorithm. And if you also want to help us out, you can hit that share button. The more people watching, the more people hit the like button. That seems to make sense. And if you aren't already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All three things are absolutely free. You can help us out with that. If, however, you want to help us out a little bit more, a little financially, you can go ahead and do that. We have links for our donation station and our merch store in the top of the chat and in the description below this very video. Now, the big story, the big thing that we have to talk about right now. NFL players are going to be in the Olympics for flag football in 2028. Jimbo, how you feeling about that?
I like it. I kind of like how AJ Brown said he's not gonna go there. But hey, Tyreek Hill, put him
Justin
in there.
Jefferson, he's a big proponent. He wants to get that, so that'll be. Boy, I do feel bad for the rest of the world. I kind of do. Like, imagine you like Derrick Henry just running at you full speed without pads on. It's like, even if it's flag football, I'm like, I'm getting
the one joke. The one joke I keep seeing is like Tyreek Hill jukes the cornerback who, during the day, is a consultant at a law firm.
Yeah, I know. It's like, But here's the other thing too. Now you can't lose. You can't lose a game. Not only that, you can't lose a game by like you can't even. You have to win every game by like 50 points going away. Yeah. Like you have to absolutely like 1992 Dream Team this. There's no getting away from that. Anyway, of course, we will get to that. We will talk about that a little bit. But the big story, the one we were all waiting on, and I had it set. I'm going to say this. I had all the graphics. I had the breaking news set for the Tush Push being banned. I had it, and as soon as it was, I was going to jump on the air. I was going to do a quick little breaking news segment on here. I was going to talk about it. I was going to do a whole big thing. Sure enough, though, surprise, the Tush Push survives. It actually has stayed against everybody's thought. I mean, there's not a person in this world, there's not a single pundit, there's not an NFL insider, nobody thought that the Tush Push was going to survive, but it survives today by the slimmest of margins. It survives by only 2 votes, but it does survive. Jimbo, initial thoughts about the Tush Push surviving?
Well, the initial thought was Jason Kelsey is Superman. I mean, like, to kind of go with what you said, like, the initial thought was everybody was saying it was going to get banned.
It was a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it was almost like there was only going to be like 4 or 5 yes votes. And we'll get to Florio in a second here. But before the Florio thing came out, the reason why Jason Kelsey was there, in case anybody didn't know, was some coaches and GMs took his words and construed them to their event, like their side. And he said that's like basically a couple months ago, whatever he says, it sucks being at the bottom there.
Right.
Hurts,
The general premise was that they were saying that Jason Kelsey retired because of the Tush Push.
Yes.
That was the reason why, because he was tired of doing it. And he went to the meetings today to set the record straight to the owners. And that's why Jeffrey Lurie walked in with Jason Kelsey. He spoke to the owners, supposedly, gave his side, let them know that, no, that is not what was said. That is not any of that. So just to preface that was the reason why Jason Kelsey was there, was to basically stump. He had a bit of a political speech as far as trying to save the Tush Push.
And you said about Jeffrey Lurie being there. Kudos to him. I don't know if you saw this, but Jeffrey Lurie basically used everybody else's defense, or however you want to say, of why the play should be banned. He used the same thing by saying, if you ban this, then you're going to have more quarterbacks injured, more running backs injured, because then it's more plays for them.
Well, this was the thing. The fact that this rule change was being put in place with the two main reasons they put was player safety, which was bullshit, because we know that nobody's gotten injured on this play. This is not an injured play. And two was pace of play, which the football game was never slowed down by the tush push.
No.
The only time there was a pace of play issue was when Luvalu kept on jumping over the line like Superman trying to do that, which, while that did maybe hurt the pace of play, I don't care what anybody else says, I was fucking entertained by that. That was fun as shit to watch. In a game that was already a blowout, that was kind of fun.
Yeah. No, I was too. But when I think I saw it on X before we all put it into the group chat. I forget how our timeline went there, but as soon as I saw it, I was at lunch at work, and I was like, holy shit, it didn't get banned. And the one guy that works with me, he's a Cowboys fan. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, the tush push, it's sticking around. He's like, oh. And put his head back down. But he's a Cowboys fan. He's not used to greatness like he is. So, but hey, last season, Green Bay lost their season opener to us. They lost their playoff game to us. And now, they're 0-3 against us. So good job.
Funnily enough, the vote for the tush push was 22-10, 22 in favor, 10 against, and you need 24 to get get anything passed. In the NFL, it's a 3/4 majority. You need like a super majority in order to pass anything in the NFL. So they were just short. Funnily enough, 22-10, also the score by which the Eagles beat the Packers in the playoffs. So the universe has some kind of karma, universal thing going on here. I don't know. I said karma, so who knows? All the Taylor Swift fans are going to lose their mind now. But yeah.
I do want to say a side note real quick. And ELS, anything I do say today about the Packers,
nothing personal. It's nothing personal.
You're probably the only Packers fan that I like right now. So you're cool. Everybody else, I'll get to.
You're like the guy from Half Baked. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you.
Well, the funny part that you bring that up was I actually did talking points. I wanted to make sure I get all my jabs in today, about this Packer thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to recreate that by calling out every Green Bay Packer office person. Mark Murphy, fuck you. Guy underneath him, fuck you. You're cool.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. And I'm going to jump in this real quick because I do want to talk about this, even though it's from, probably one of my favorite people in this whole world, Dr. Michael Florio.
You're going to talk about me.
Well, see, I was saying it facetiously, because you really are one of my favorite people, Jimbo, even as an Eagles fan. But Mike Florio, and he posted this, and this is something very interesting. The title of the article was "The NFL, as suspected, recruited the Packers to propose the failed tush push ban." So here we are. We're everybody for the last however long, a couple months now since the Packers first proposed this, kind of been shitting on the Packers. Everybody's been taking their chunk of the Packers. I've been doing it too. I'm not saying I haven't. But it is a thought that I've had, that a couple of people have had, and according to Dr. Mike Florio, this is actually true. So let me go through the article, and then I want to see what your reaction is to it. When the Lions president, Rod Wood, blurted out that the league office nudged the Lions to propose a new seating system, it opened a new avenue for understanding of how rulemaking sausage gets made. And we suggested at the time that 345 Park Avenue possibly put the Packers up to proposing the tush push ban as well. Per a league source, that's exactly what happened. The league asked the Packers to do it, and the Packers took one for the team. As the source puts it, most in the Green Bay organization don't care about the play either way. It never made sense for the Packers to be the anti-tush push poster child. They lost to the Eagles twice last year. A proposal coming from Green Bay reeked of sour grapes. The league would have been better advised to get a team from the AFC, other than the Chiefs, obviously. Bills coach Sean McDermott spoke out in favor of the initial proposal. McDermott's voice had credibility because his team uses the maneuver as well, and they do it very well along with the Eagles. Of course, the initial version of the proposal banned an immediate push of the player receiving the snap. The Bills don't run it that way. When the proposal shifted to a version that banned all pushing, no matter what, the Bills felt a little bit differently. Regardless, the Packers were the ones the league office targeted, and the Packers are the ones that carried the public embarrassment of the proposal going to a vote instead of being withdrawn like the Lions was, and we'll get to that one as well, and with the vote ultimately failing. The truth is, it's not on the Packers. The league office wanted to get rid of the play. For whatever reason, the league decided not to propose the measure through the normal procedure, but to create the impression that one specific team decided to push for the no Tush Push. Jimbo, thoughts on this revelation that it was, in fact, Goodell and the league office, the Shield itself, that wanted this gone, and then kind of manipulated the Packers to be the team that pushed it to the vote, and failed to, I guess, I don't know, maybe save face or say like they're not the ones, like Goodell's not the puppet master there. Like we all fucking know he is anyway. But anyway, your thoughts on this new information coming out here from good old Dr. Mike Florio.
I mean, I don't know why the Packers would even agree to that. If they're getting something in return, what is...
Well, Mark Murphy's leaving in, July, I think, as the managing... so maybe they said, like, hey, you do this, we give you a nice little cushy league job. You get, you got a nice paycheck, but you get to sit on a beach all day. Like, maybe you do that, you do this, and then we do that, a little, quid pro quo, you know what I'm saying?
Now, with this newest information, if he does get a league job, this is going to look even worse. And I don't, if this is how the league is ran, I don't like it. Like, it kind of tarnishes the league to me, just a little bit. Not like, oh my God, they're going to be in shambles now type stuff. But
I was going to say that it makes me wonder, though, about, like, because when the proposal was first made, it was clearly it was anti-Tush Push, anti-Eagle. Like, that was it. I mean, there was no ambiguity about it. The way it was worded and phrased was to get rid of the specific play of the Tush Push. Then they took it off the table and they reworded it, and that's when it became from the no pushing of the player that immediately takes the snap, and then they changed it to any pushing of any player or anything like that. I think to soften the idea that this was strictly against one play that one team does particularly well. I wonder if that maybe backfired on them, because then when you look at the language that they had, it's like, if you're not going to be able to push it. Like, what if you have a running back that's going down the field and they hit a couple people in the line, and then the offensive lineman comes up and gives them a nudge or something? Oh, that's going to be a 10-yard penalty? Like, that doesn't make sense. And on top of that, with Kelsey coming in to talk, and with kind of, as we've seen with a lot of the public, but they're coming to take me away, with the public backlash against it. And this is what I mean too. This has almost universally been derided by NFL fans. Now, there are some fans out there that have been like, yeah, ban it. This isn't real football. This is terrible. Mostly Cowboy fans. I just want to point that out there. I've seen most of the people who bitching about this are Cowboy fans. That's all I'm saying. But for the most part, the public has been against this. Most football people have been against this. The only people that have ever seemed to be in favor of this were NFL executives, Roger Goodell, the league itself, and certain teams' upper brass.
Yeah.
Most coaches you've seen or talked to, I think outside of one or two, have been like, either I don't give a shit one way or another, or this is dumb. This shouldn't be banned. Most players have been among the same of, this is, why is this even a conversation? This is stupid.
Yeah.
Just let us play the game. With all of that, I wonder if that maybe took the vote from being close. It almost feels like the vote was close the first time
Yeah.
back in March or whatever the other meetings were. That like it might have been maybe one vote or two, kind of one vote short maybe. And then when they changed the language and they did all this and they went in there today, I think they might have actually lost another vote instead of gaining one, which they thought they might have done.
When I saw that they reworded it to how the rule was back in what was it, 2005 or 2000,
2005, I think it was, yes.
right? I kind of agree with you that going forward, I think it's going to be even tougher now to get banned because how much more, I don't want to say clearer, but how much better can you make the proposal wording to get those two other votes? I mean, you're to the point now where you can't word it any more than what it is. So I really think today was a huge win for the tush push and any type of, not even just a tush push, any type of play that another player could come up behind and push another player with the ball.
Well,
I think it's dead.
I want to touch on this real quick. From the chat, Crafty Southpaw says some members of the press also wanted it banned, the ones who were too young to remember when football was physical. But I digress. There was somebody who was very against it, who's not old. I mean, who's not young. He's an old head, but also his position makes it feel like maybe he was told to say this and say these things. That would be one Mr. Rich Eisen, who has for about 2 seasons now beaten the drum of get rid of the play. Get rid of the play. It's not a football play. It's just not a football play. When I watch the game and I see this, it's just not a game. You know what I mean? Chris Brockman over there. Hey Brockman, do you think it's a football play? I don't think it's a football play, really. Hey Brockman, I just don't think it. But here's the thing: Rich Eisen works for the NFL Network. Who owns the NFL Network? The NFL, baby. Not for long though. ESPN's buying them out.
Yeah.
But Eisen works. He gets a paycheck from the NFL. He is the face of the NFL Network. Has been for 20 plus years now. You think it's out of the realm of possibility that Roger or someone in the league office is like, Rich, we need you to maybe drum up some support for this and use your media savvy to maybe get more of the fans and the public on our side on this and just be like, let's get rid of it. We don't really need that because we want high flying big passes and things like that. We don't want actual football plays in a football game. What are you thinking? This is tough. Come on, Rich, you can help us out. So to that end, I've seen press people kind of be a little bit split on it about whether they think it should be or not. One of the few things I agree with Florio is he's one that thinks it should have never been brought up and was dumb. I've seen a couple other local people, at least like with New York newspapers, like Ralph Vacat, whatever. I forget how to say his name, but he's one that's been against it. I mean, he's calling for it. Like, can we stop trying to ban it now? Like, we've already done this. Let's just stop. Now, here's a question for you: do you think the NFL stops? Do you think they try to stop this? Or, does the tush push ban effort stop now, or do they try this again next year?
I think they'll try again next year, but like I said before, like I don't know how they could reword it to get those couple extra votes because I just think it's worded now the best it possibly can, and you're 2 votes short.
You basically what you did was from the initial one, which was very anti-Eagles. What you did was just say, listen, all we want to do is reinstitute the rule that it was back 20 years ago, and that was in the rule book for however long it was before that. Which on the surface would seem logical. But I think we're in an age now where once you've let that genie out, you can't put it back in.
Yeah.
And especially when The big thing is the fact that everybody focuses on the Eagles. Like, it's the fact that the Eagles do this play so well. They do it so well. And they do. They're very good. But it's also not unstoppable. As I've mentioned before, the Eagles cannot do this play against the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers fucking own the Eagles when the Eagles try to do the tush push. They cannot get the tush push against the Buccaneers. So right there is something that tells you it's not an unstoppable play. You just can't stop it. But it's not unstoppable.
And the funny part about the tush push is like you said, everybody thinks it's it can't be stopped or this and that. When the tush push came out today about not being banned, all the stats started to come out, and it was an Eagles beat writer that posted this on X. Tush push has been around last season and the season before. Both seasons, 2 seasons ago, we were 100% on it. Last season, I think we were like 93%. The year before we started Tush Push with Jalen Hurts as our starting quarterback sneaks, we were at 95%. So it's like...
Well, I know they were not 100% in 2023. I know that because you played the Buccaneers twice, and the Buccaneers stopped you in the regular season and in the playoffs. I mean, we
like 98.
We remember the playoff game. Yes, that's what I said. I think the Eagles have a very high success rate with it. That's why they're the poster child for this. That's why everybody's called this the Tush Push ban instead of calling it like the anti-offensive leverage play or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Yeah,
it's been conceived as the Tush Push ban because it really is the Eagles. They are the one team that does it well, and are almost unstoppable compared to every other team. I had a thought and I lost it.
I had so many thoughts today when I found out about the Tush Push. I couldn't write them down quick enough.
It's just my whole thought with it has always been, if you don't like it, stop it.
Yeah.
And the people who always scream, "Oh, it's so boring, it's so automatic." But like I said, it's not automatic. NFL teams seem like they don't want to put the effort in to stop the play. Like as I bring up with the Buccaneers, I bring up with other things. It is possible to stop this play.
Yeah.
You have to come up with it. Now, I know other people have brought up the fact, well, defense can't push. Like, the defense can't push. If the defense pushes, that's a penalty. And it's like, so what they should do is try to make it equal and have like and I'm all for that. Like, I agree with that as well. The NFL will never do that because the NFL wants to play gone.
Yeah.
They just want to take away all physicality. They don't want to add more physicality to it. How dare that? How dare we try to make a physical game more physical? Crafty Southpaw in the chat says King loses thoughts the way the Bills lose championships. What? Go fuck yourself, man. All right?
Jesus.
Yes, I know. My mind gets a little flighty sometimes. It happens. I'm drinking the coffee. I'm trying to focus.
I actually have a question for ELS. Even though he said he thought, trying to ban it was stupid, right. How does he feel about Detroit voting against banning it? I thought that was kind of surprising.
I was gonna say because I have the list. I have the list of the teams that voted for and voted against. The 10 teams who voted against the Tush Push ban. The Eagles, obviously. Then you have the Ravens, the Browns, the Lions, the Jaguars, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Saints, the Jets, and the Titans. Those are all the teams that voted against it.
Okay.
Interesting that Detroit was the only team in the NFC North to vote against the ban of the Tush Push.
Yeah.
And a lot of again, some teams are surprising here. The Jaguars, Dolphins.
Dolphins, I'm not.
I'm not surprised by the Jets, considering with Aaron Glenn as their coach and just kind of how they are.
I thought the Jets were not against banning. I thought they were ones that wanted to keep it.
They voted to not ban.
Oh, okay.
They voted against the Tush Push ban because it's against the Tush Push ban, not the Tush Push itself.
Yeah. Okay.
They voted against the ban. Those are the teams that voted against the ban. Eagles, Ravens, Browns, Lions, Jaguars, Dolphins, Patriots, Saints, Jets, and Titans.
Okay.
Those are the 10 teams. Now, the teams that voted to ban it were the Bills, Steelers. Steelers and Bengals surprised me. I'm really surprised by the Steelers on that one too.
Yeah, Steelers. I am.
But but again, the Steelers and Rooney, like they do what the league tells. Like Rooney's the Rooneys and the Maras with the Giants and stuff. Which again, that we don't talk about highly disappointed, and I'll get to that in a second. But the Bills, Steelers, Bengals, Texans, Colts, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, the entire AFC West voted against it. Voted for the ban. Cowboys, Redskins, Giants, the rest of the NFC East voted against it. Bears, Packers, Vikings, Falcons, Buccaneers, Panthers, 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals. So there was a couple of whole divisions that that voted for the ban to go into place. ELS in the chat says, if you didn't play the Eagles, they didn't vote yes for it. That's not true either. That's not very true either. And also ELS says, fuck the Lions. So the teams that voted against the ban are the ones who can't afford to endure public ridicule. Listen, the Giants have enough. I mean, you can't get any more public ridicule than the Giants have had in the last 12 months. All right, let's be honest. The Giants have maxed out on how much ridicule we can take. But that's also the reason why I wanted to wear the hat today. I wanted to wear the hat, and I have the coffee mug here today. And I wanted that just so that people know, like, I am a Giants fan. Dyed in the wool, bleed blue, big blue wrecking crew, all that shit. And I have been one beating the drum, maybe the loudest, for the Eagles to be able to keep the tush push in the play.
Yeah, you have.
And a lot of people would be like, you'd figure like a rival wouldn't do that, or why would you want your rival to be able to have a play? Because in the end of the day, while I am a Giants fan, I'm also a football fan. I like football, and that's a football play. Despite what Rich Evan wants to say, it's a fucking football play. And to take it out of the game just because you're not good enough to stop it. Skill issue. That's all it is. It's a skill issue. Get good. And I think the Giants might get good at it this year. I do. I mean, you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle. We got Abdul Carter. If Kayvon Thibodeau can actually fucking do something, hey, maybe we got something on that defensive front. Maybe we can actually push back a little bit and stop the tush push. So, there's a little bit of that too. And now it becomes also, in my mind, like if you're a defensive player in the NFL on any other team that's going to be playing the Eagles this year, now, this is a test of my fucking manhood. This is a test of my mettle. Like,
yeah.
Are we going to allow this to happen? Or am I going to fucking actually stand up and start, am I going to be the one there that says, yeah, we stopped these motherfuckers thought it was automatic. They thought they could just run all over us. Not here, not on me. We're not doing that. Like, that's how you should be looking at this, of trying to stop it with your defense, not trying to stop it through legislation. Like, when did football become fucking Congress?
Yeah.
Like I watch football to get away from the fucking politics. This whole thing has been fucking politics. And it's been absolutely it's been absurd. The arguments that people have tried to come up for banning this. And I really am happy that it's done, that it's over with, at least for now. But like I said, is this something that the NFL is going to accept defeat on, or is this something where it's going to be next year? It's going to be like, well, there's another team that has a proposal to stop the tush push, and then we got to go through this whole fucking rigmarole again. Like,
Yeah.
Or is Goodell going to have like a fucking sniper in a stadium somewhere and just take out somebody's fucking kneecaps when they're doing a tush push to be like, oh, see, there's clear injuries happening here. We really need the player safety. I did like your idea.
With the interns?
With the with the Eagles and perhaps maybe some other teams as well, putting in putting in
about the
their
Lambeau
own
Leap.
proposals to ban the Lambeau Leap after touchdowns for not only player safety, but you have fan safety to consider. What if somebody leaps into that crowd and hits a poor fan in the head with the helmet? Now they're concussed, maybe worse. Litigations are going to happen. Suing. There's going to be so much bad press. There's going to be all this. Plus, what happens if a player leaps in the stands? He comes back down. Oh my God, twists his ankle, pops an Achilles. He's done for the year. You really have to consider all things here. So let's go ahead and let's make sure we ban the Lambeau Leap. Anybody does that, that's an immediate 15-yard penalty and a $500,000 fine for everybody involved. Like, why not? Because you know what? That makes about just as much sense as banning the tush push.
The sad part is that one sounds more logical to ban than the tush push. Like,
if I'm serious, yeah.
And being serious, yeah. Like,
Because you're talking about fan safety. You're talking about, you know, we've already had, I mean, I remember, what was it, about 20 years ago now, when a poor fan was hit in the head with a puck in a hockey game.
Yeah.
Ended up eventually dying, unfortunately. I believe it was a young girl, actually, so it was a very sad story. But that was it. That happened, and literally the next night, that's what you see now in the NHL arenas. They have those big, giant fucking nets on the end of the fucking of the boards now. Is because of that. Fan safety is paramount. You want to make sure you go to a game that you leave the game. What happens? Somebody Lambeau leaps and gets hit in the head with a fucking Packers helmet, and they don't get to go home.
Yeah.
Think about that, huh? Why don't you ruminate on that, Roger? So
the only other two things I'll say about the tush push here, is being that, you know, we're gonna be able to do it at least this year. Frankie Louvu better get Louvu, or however you say his last name, better get his jumping shoes going, because we're gonna just run it right at him.
Well, I don't know, but we'll see. Maybe the Redskins will work on that defense. They have worked on the defense on the offseason. So this is my point, though. Like, especially if you're in the NFC East, and if you're any team that's going to be playing the Eagles this offseason, I would spend entire OTAs just like today on this. We're doing morning, noon, and night. All sessions, all the sessions, all practices, everything like that is going to be focused on stopping this tush push. We're going to focus on how to stop it, how to get leverage, do that stuff. And then the rest of the time, get your ass in a fucking gym and start hitting fucking squats. Let's go. Like, that's how I would look at that.
And then I know I just said two, but actually three. Philadelphia Eagles social media teams today, savage. 26-minute video on YouTube they posted of all the tush pushes.
All the tush pushes, and just the one, the initial image of when the news came out that it was, and it had the Eagles and Packers lined up at the tush push, and it just said "push on." Now, the funny thing about that picture that I found out was that was the one tush push where the Packers stopped the Eagles tush push. So.
I would like. I kind of want to think the Eagles media team purposely did that to say, "Hey, this is the
see, it can be stopped." I'm just saying that could be. By the way, quickly, just in the chat, ELS says about banning the Lambeau Leap. He said, "Fuck that! If that happens, Jimbo, you will be in the hospital by the night." Holy shit! ELS is not fucking around now. We have seen another side of ELS all of a sudden.
Now you know how I felt all these months now about the tush push, the Packers.
And he also says, "Jimbo, be ready. The Packers are going to make a wall to stop the tush push for the Packers versus Eagles Monday Night Football matchup." There, I
can make a political joke about that, but I won't.
It's going to be a wall, beautiful, and the Packers are going to pay for it.
Huge. I just hope that we open up the game first drive nonstop.
That was what you said. You said you want to do the first drive is nothing but tush pushes all the way down the field.
And Jeffrey Lurie did come out and say before the vote came out that if this does get banned, we will bring back the fullback. They drafted a fullback. The D tackle that we drafted in the later rounds, he's actually going to.
Which I'm fine. Listen, we got Scatabo now, the Giants do, so I'm excited for that. Let's get a fullback going. Yeah.
So mix up the tush push with a little bit of fullback play in there, just first drive all the way down.
That's it. You know, I'm excited.
Um,
I'm excited for that.
and then the last thing is I sent it over to you.
Right.
A source of mine sent me this footage of Murphy, the GM or whoever wrote up the proposal. His reaction
I
when
believe that
when
was Mark Murphy who
Mark Murphy.
yes.
Yeah.
So this is literally from the owners meeting. This is right after the vote was taken, and that the Tush Push we found out was going to survive. We have this actual clip from the owners meeting, which was in Minneapolis, I think.
So
Yeah, so it was up there. So we have this clip right here.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Such an asshole.
You can't keep getting away with it!
You're such a dick. You're such a dick.
I bust out laughing at lunch, and everybody's looking at me because I'm crying, laughing. They're like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "It's such a great day."
I will say this: in my 43 years of life, and 43 years of watching football, and experiencing the NFL and all its ups and downs and everything, I've got to say the last, what is it, 14, 15 months or so, has maybe been the best 14, 15 months in Eagles history. The Eagles have never
gotcha.
won more than they have. They got Saquon. Their team had an amazing regular season after week 5. Everybody got behind Sirianni. Saquon ends up going over 2,000 yards. Could have gotten a record if they didn't sit him for the last game. They run through the playoffs. They murder the Chiefs, who were going for a three-peat. They have the Super Bowl. They have the parade. They have another championship. Then they have basically everybody, the league, the commissioner, all the higher-ups and the brass execs trying to get rid of their signature play, the Tush Push, and they still couldn't get rid of it. And now, like I said, now here we are with Taylor. This has been the Eagles. This has been the Eagles' year. Like this, they just have not been able to stop winning. If I'm you, that's it. This is where you soak it in, really try to, understand that you're living in the good old days right now, because this is a level of success and winning that the Eagles may not get again.
Yeah. Like I said to you, like when I found out this, between how did I say it? The Tush Push, us getting this, I compared my happiness to this past year's Super Bowl win. Like that's how happy I was about that I wasn't gonna be banned. But it definitely made a better day for me.
Yes, it did. By the way, ELS in the chat, and this is why we love ELS. I just want to point this out here. Letting us know that the Titans have signed the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward, to a 4-year, fully guaranteed $48.7 million rookie contract. So Cam Ward is locked in. Him and I think Will Levis, the good old mailman, they are getting reps split evenly in the OTAs right now. I don't think that's going to stay that way, if we're going to be honest. Yeah, I don't think Mailman's going to be seeing the field much for the Titans. I just want to point that out there. By the way, ELS also decides to add, I hate life right now. Fuck the Eagles and fuck Jimbo. Oh, ELS, you know how I feel every day. Now you know how
He's dealt with it for 12
I've
15
have
years
to
now.
deal with this Eagles shit. And listen, there is nothing worse to me than Eagles success. I hate it. It really is the worst thing in the world being a Giants fan, especially when the Giants have been the Giants for the last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, whatever the fuck it's been. Jesus Christ. Maybe there's light. Maybe we got some light at the end of the tunnel. I don't know. I feel good. Although I do say I am very disappointed that the Giants voted for the ban. I'm disappointed. I thought we were better than that. And it's just, I get it. Mara is the Giants are a blue blood organization. So if the league is like going one way, like the Giants, the Steelers, the Bears, those kind of teams are always going to be like, yeah, because they are the league as well, But I'm just disappointed. I was hoping the Giants would be like, we'll stand up and be one of the teams that says, nah, we're going to do our best to stop it, not try to legislate it out of the game like a bunch of whatevers.
Maybe their kickback, the Giants kickback from the league for voting against voting for the ban is,
Right.
hey, we'll give you guys a second chance at television. Maybe that's why they're the NFC East.
Oh yeah, yes. We'll jump into that too. We've got the teams for the Hard Knocks this year. Though off season Hard Knocks. Thanks Giants for that one, and also Jordan Hudson as well. I guess supposedly, we well, the Giants are the reason there was no NFL teams. They were supposed to be a college team, but some 24-year-old tart said no. So I want to own part of the program. HBO said, "Well, fuck you, bitch." Oh God! But
that statement right there that she wanted part ownership, I'm like,
she wanted full
crazy.
she wanted full creative control and partial ownership of Hard Knocks off. Like, in what fucking world?
Seriously,
ma'am? Like, listen, that's a whole can of worms that we could go. Maybe we'll do maybe we'll do like one of those TMZ specials where we'll do like a breakdown of Belichick and Jordan Hudson, because apparently wedding bells.
I was gonna say she's about to cha-ching.
We got the wedding bells. Did you see the new paint job on his boat? Because his boat's name was 8 Rings. Because he's got he's got 8 rings, and apparently she has a ring for being a national champion from her cheerleading days.
Okay.
So his boat got a new paint job, and it's an 1 + 8 rings is now the name of the boat.
Oh God! Ow!
Oh no, Bill! What are you doing?
Wow.
Oh no, Mr. Bill! No! Oh boy! That's
Billy boy, what are you doing?
Oh, Billy. Oh, man. But yes, we did get the teams for the Hard Knocks this year. Hard Knocks training camp is going to be the Buffalo Bills. Interesting choice. A lot of people wanted the Browns. And understandably, that could have been fun. But they were fairly recently, and I don't know what the rules are about how teams can say no. I know it's about 7-8 years or something with the Browns since they've been on there, but
well, I mean, they were last year with the divisional,
and they did the divisional last year too. So I wonder if they got a pass with that as well. But the Giants were on the off season, and they put us on the fucking NFC East ones. So because that's at the end season Hard Knocks Division 1, which was very popular last year. They did the AFC North. This year will be the NFC East with your Eagles, Cowboys, Redskins, and of course the Giants. And part of me is hoping, like, hey, maybe the Giants, will actually be like, good and engaged in the season, and maybe not by the time that the series starts to air, we won't be completely out of it. And then I just keep on looking at the fucking schedule, and I'm like, fucking Christ! We're trying to rebuild here. We're trying to do something, and meanwhile, we got a schedule that the 1986 Giants wouldn't want. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? God.
I'm just happy that we're getting more Dable and Shane content. Watching Dable line up a punter to stop the tush push. Here, you just line right up over the center there. Just get low.
ELS, I did try to check out the links. For some reason, it's not coming up, so I don't know if it's a private group or something that you had there for the links in there. But thank you for thinking of us. We do appreciate that. And again, we appreciate everybody in the chat. By the way, chat's open if you want to come in and say hi, say hello, say how you doing, talk about the Tushy Pushy, anything else, Hard Knocks, some of the other rules that were debated about. The NFL has passed the new onside kick rules. Now, as you know, last year, because of the new modified kickoffs that they did, that onside was only allowed to be done in the fourth quarter if you were trailing. And some people said you could only do it a couple times, but that wasn't true. That was part of the initial proposal, but they removed it when it got passed. So it was you could do unlimited because people were like, "Oh my God, you can't go onside that much." It's like, yeah, you can. You can do it as many times you want. Well, the NFL came out and amended the rules because that was the other thing too. With the onside, the kicking teams players had to line up at 1 yard off of the ball, and now they've said nope, they can be on the line now with the ball. So that is something that has changed. And they can also do the onside at any point during the game. So you can do the onside. I still think you have to be trailing. I think that is something there. But you don't have to wait till the fourth quarter. You can just if you're trailing at any point, if the other team scores on the first one and then you score and then they score again, you could do an onside kick if you fucking want to, I suppose. So that's something. That's something. So
you still have to announce it though?
Yeah, you can't just do. I mean, it is what it is. You something. Here's the thing. In a perfect world, we would just go back to a kickoff from the 25-yard line because kickers can fucking bomb the ball now. So if you want to get returns, instead of having them kick from the 35 or the 30, have them kick from the fucking 25. Let them kick it off. Get some more returns. Do stuff like that. And then if you want to, you can do a fucking onside kick. Because that's the other thing, too. If you're kicking off from the 25, like that's the extra added risk I think you would have there. Is like if you do the onside kick from the 25, even if it's a surprise one, the other team's going to get the ball like the 35.
Yeah.
So you have to weigh that in, So I think that's, in a perfect world, that's how I would like to have it. But for now, to still have kickoffs in the game and have returns in the game, which again, returns were up, touchdowns on returns were up. It was overall a success, which is why they kept it in, after the 1 year review and just kind of tweaked here the onside rules. So we'll get that, but that did pass. The playoff seeding proposal made by the Lions to go ahead and say that if a wild card team finished with a better record than a division winner, that the wild card team would get the home field and be higher seeded than the division winner. The Lions pulled their proposal as it was looking like they had nowhere near enough votes to go ahead and pass that. So instead of it being voted down or, kind of losing face on that, they decided to just pull it. And so we will have the same playoff seeding. I'm wondering, as a couple of people have, I saw it on Twitter, a lot of people talking about if they've pulled that and they're waiting for the 18 game schedule and then they're going to kind of reorganize everything. Like the schedule bound, like I have a feeling like when you get to the 18 game schedule, you're going to have a lot more conference focused games because you're going to be able to play at least a whole other division in your conference, plus the opponents, the AFC conference that you're going to play against, and still have two more teams that you can just throw in there to play. So that's what I mean, because you play twice against your own division opponents, so that's 6 games. Then you can play 2 whole divisions in your own conference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I mean, it's either way, they're going to be able to figure it out.
Yeah,
and do all that, and then in that case, maybe they do a different kind of playoff structure once we get there. But for now, it is what it is. Packers rookie wide receiver Matthew Golden is now set to enter the season as Green Bay's highest paid pass catcher by AAV. ELS letting us know that. Thank you very much, ELS, for getting us that news. He's just hitting us with the news. I love it. Thank you so much. And keeping us. By the way, if you want to come into the chat and participate with us, chat's open. Thank you so very much for joining us here on Stay Tuned Sports as we're just going over the Tush Push, some of the rule changes that have happened in the NFL. I think with the something. Oh yeah, the Olympic thing that we kind of talked about a little bit already. I'm interested to see how that goes because you can't lose a game. You can't lose a game. You can't
win by only 20.
Yeah, you have to blow out. This has to be 1992 Dream Team basketball kind of. You have to literally annihilate everybody. If you're going to use NFL players, you have to annihilate everybody. Sorry, Croatia. Sorry, Japan. Sorry, Ireland. You're losing. Like this is the case. Very sorry. Again, because we're thinking of it of maybe like. I think we're still thinking of it like they're going to hit people. You can't do that in flag football. So it's a little bit more speed. But even if it's more speed, come on.
Again, the NFL guys are doing it 11 months out of the year where, Joe Schmo, the consultant, is only doing it 3 times a week.
And I know what, because it's, so we're like 3 years away. Even so, let's say you put like Justin Jefferson and then like, we'll see like a Malik Neighbors or Matthew Golden or somebody else, a real speedster out there, and you put Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback in flag football, where you're not allowed to really move or do anything anyway, and that guy can listen. He's going to be 60 and still be able to pinpoint passes at 60 yards. Like let's just be honest. And I know it's the Olympics, so the biggest challenge is going to get him to not drug test. That's the biggest thing you'd have to worry about.
Yeah.
But even so, like you put Josh Allen in the back there, you put other it shouldn't be a competition.
No,
it shouldn't be a competition. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited. I'm excited for that news. So has there been anything else? Like again, this took up the whole Tush Push thing took up so much of the conversation for the last little bit that
that's because it took up all my life the past 5 months. It's stupid. I know you did say you want to touch about.
I wanted to talk about a couple of things. The NBA playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the conference finals started last night. Boy, I thought Minnesota was going to have a chance against Oklahoma City, but they didn't. SGA, he got that was announced that he won the MVP for the NBA this year, which now a lot of people are kind of upset about because he's bit of a flopper. He's a bit of a LeBron whopper flopper there. And watching the game last night, like my man was going up. Listen, he's going up for layups. He's going up to take a shot, and he gets grazed, and he's like, "Oh my God!" It's like what? I was like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Meanwhile, in watching the Hurricanes and Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference Finals in the NHL game, you got Brad Marchand getting a slap shot right to the right at him, and then he goes and ragdolls Gaspierre, and then they're getting into a fight in the middle of it because that game was fucking wild. He was a former Flyer, but he's also a bitch. And then he got bitched out.
Like that.
So, yeah. I mean, that was... and then they gave Marchand the misconduct. And I was like, he got a puck shot at him. What are we doing?
It was only a wrister.
No, that was a slap shot. And it was like, oh, no, he was trying to get into zone. He was 120 feet away from the goal. What the fuck are we doing? Oh, my God. I didn't
see the play, but from hearing commentators and everything today... It's
dude, it was fun. I was watching. I was like, holy shit. I was like, this game. I was like, and then Florida scored again. I was like, this game has a chance to go thermonuclear. It was a testy affair. So that was fun. And now the Western Conference starts tonight for hockey, and the Eastern Conference starts tonight for basketball. Knicks and Pacers, game 1 at the world's most famous arena, MSG, and I think it's Edmonton. I think Edmonton has home ice. I don't know. It might be Dallas. I'm not 1,000% sure. But the Oilers and the Stars for the second straight year will be battling it out to see who represents the Western Conference in the Stanley Cup Finals. One last point I did want to make, because I caught myself doing this yesterday, and it's something I thought I would never do. Like, legitimately. It's something I thought I would never do or be invested in while doing it. Like, be like actually watching the game and be interested. So I've already tipped you off what it was. I want to see if anybody in the chat can get it, but it's something I never thought I would do. It was a game, so I'll let you know that. It was a particular sporting event. I watched it. I was invested in it. ELS lets us know that it is indeed Dallas's home. They have the home ice for the series. But yeah, so I was watching a game yesterday, invested in it, liked it, super liked it, and was like, at the end of it, I was like, I never thought that I would. Nope, ELS, good guess, but I have liked arena football, and I was invested, especially with the old New Jersey Red Dogs. Woo! So I mean, I liked arena football a lot, especially growing up. So I'm not. It's not arena football, but it's good guess. But no, I want to see if anybody else can get it quickly. But I'm not going to spend too long on it. But it literally shocked me.
You watched the 26-minute video of the Tush Push.
No, I didn't. And you notice how it was 26 minutes to 26. Saquon Barkley. They still got to fucking twist the fucking knife, don't they? Fucking cocksuckers. But no, last night I found myself watching, enjoying, and invested in a WNBA game.
Holy shit.
What the fuck, dude?
Must have been some good stuff you had.
Not last night. See, that's the thing. I didn't even take any Eddies last night. You know, that's what I'm saying. Probably going to tonight. So if you see some wild live tweeting of sporting events on the Stay Tuned Sports Twitter, like there was last night, now you know why. But yeah, dude, I was watching the Indiana Fever and Atlanta Dream, and I got to tell you, I was super invested in what was going on, and I was rooting like hell for Caitlin Clark and the Fever. And then I saw the last play happen, and I'm sitting there saying, what the fuck are you doing? Why is Caitlin the one fucking throwing a ball, and she should be the one trying to take the last shot?
Yeah.
And they gave it to some other girl. She fumbled the ball around, and they didn't even get a chance to get a shot off. Like, it was all bad. I'm like, no, what are you doing? And then I'm sitting there, and I stopped for about 30 seconds. I stopped, was silent, and I just sat there, and I was like, did I just get invested in a fucking WNBA? Listen, with that, I'll say, if that's what the Caitlin Clark effect is, if it got this 43-year-old curmudgeon of a cocksucker old man to go ahead and fucking get invested and enjoy a WNBA game, like, she's bigger than Michael Jordan as far as women's basketball players go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, already. Like,
Yeah.
She's brought that level to a sport that not only did we not care about, but most of the sporting world actively derided.
Yeah.
Like, most people were just like, you know, when you know, you'd see like the attendance at a Tampa Bay Rays game or something, and you'd be like, boy, the attendance is looking a lot like a WNBA game today. Like, you know, like when you like it was literally a running joke for the last 20 years, no matter how much they've tried, and they're still doing some shit that is making them a big joke. It is what it is. But I was literally surprised, and now I'm wondering, like I found myself wondering, when's the next Indiana game? That's fucking wild. Like, and I'm putting myself out there, like I said, because it's easy to get made fun of because you're sitting there saying, oh, I watched the WNBA. Yeah, really? Oh, you really like a man's game out there, don't you? I'm just saying, like, legitimately, it was an enjoyable watch. I enjoyed it. Fucking crazy. I'm just saying, it's one of those. It's again one of those things you never thought would happen. I know you. Listen, I know you're not going to get into it, and that's fine.
Yeah,
you still don't watch soccer, so you know.
Soccer's not a sport. I'd rather watch freaking
Jesus
golf.
Christ, come on. So wait a minute. I did want to check that because, one of my favorite team's playing for a trophy today, and I forgot. That just shows you how invested I was in that. Let me see.
Which sport are we talking about? Because all the major sports you suck in.
Hey! Yeah! Not Premier League. This was the Europa League, the Europa League. Tottenham Hotspur defeated Manchester United 1-0 and won their first major trophy since I've been fucking following them. Well, right, come on, you Spurs, baby, let's go.
Congratulations on getting a non-sport trophy.
Will you shut the fuck? Well, a lot of people are going to make fun of me anyway because literally Tottenham and Manchester were both just above the relegation zone in the Premier League, but they somehow made it to the final of the Continent's Europa League. So now Tottenham won that, so now they get to play in the Champions League next year, which is very nice. But hopefully they have a better premiership too. I'd like for them to win the big trophy. I'd like for them to win the nice, premiership trophy there, and then maybe the Champions League too. They were in the Champions League 7 years ago, so there we go. All right, way to go, Tottenham.
Little piece of advice, I guess. Start small. Root for the teams are going to, a small trophy. Don't go big because, you see what the Giants.
Here's the thing.
I've
been with Manchester. Oh, not Manchester. Fuck Manchester. I've been with Tottenham for 16, 17 years now, and it felt fitting to root for them because they will look good and then falter right at the end. They go, what the English would call bottling. They bottle,
Oh, okay.
They would always find a way to fuck it up. They would always find a way to do good and fuck it up. Or it's like they go into the season with high expectations and then they finish middle of the fucking table. Or like this year, bottom of the fucking table. They just missed relegation. They were this close to not playing in the Premiership next year. They were going to play in the same league as fucking Wrexham with fucking Ryan, whatever, Blake Lively's husband. Which, by the way, holy shit! Thank God I have a Swiftie wife, and I'm the shit coming out with the whole Blake Lively shit and the Justin Baldoni and the.
That's getting up there with the Bill Belichick stuff.
Dude, it's getting fucking wild. There's blackmail. There's Blake is saying she's dude, right? It's fucking nuts. I love it. Oh, give me the drama. I love it. It's like fucking soap operas. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love it because my wife is keeping me abreast of everything. She's telling me, he's like, wait till I tell you this one. I'm like, let's go. I'm ready. I can't wait to hear some of it. That's what it's almost like sports to me now. It's like, oh, let's see how this goes. And quickly, one last football thing. We can't end on, pop star drama. Let's end with ELS here. What do you think of the Browns quarterback depth chart? Too fucking many of them. Somebody's going, whether it's Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco even. This point was brought up by my father, and it's actually not a bad point. It's like they have so many there. Maybe the Browns at this point, they say, you know what? Let's see what we have with this guys. And maybe trade? They're going to trade away Flacco. Joe Flacco. They're going to trade away old Joe Flacco. Remember, that's how I used to say his name. Joe Flacco. Maybe go to the Saints, and give Shuck a little bench time to kind of do that, or maybe go to Pittsburgh. Maybe Flacco ends up in Pittsburgh. I doubt that. Cleveland and Pittsburgh, same division, and they hate each other, so I don't know if that'll work. But maybe the Browns look to just have, they've got Shador and the other one I forget begins with a G.
Dylan Gabriel.
I was always like Gilbert Gottfried. What is it? I don't know. Rest in peace, Gilbert.
I would say the opposite. I'd get rid of Pickett. I'd keep Flacco around.
I was going to say one or the other, yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep Flacco around because he's a veteran. He has the experience. If the team's doing good, he'll be the start. Flacco will be the starter. If they're so-so or worse, Flacco could be on the bench, coach the young guys up a little bit. Pickett, all he could teach them is how to do the tush push.
Which? May not be a bad thing coming in this league now, because it's such an unstoppable play. Except nobody else can fucking do it. So, Jimbo, with that, last thoughts on this very news-filled day. A lot of stuff happened the last 48 hours. The last 48 hours have been a lot of shit going on.
Yeah. No, like I said earlier, I was very surprised. I actually had a whole nother set of talking points for like how you did with the thumbnails and shit like that. But I kept in my head, ELS is a friend. ELS is a friend. ELS is a friend.
ELS is a friend, not food. Yeah, I would say like that to me. That was a surprise. The two biggest surprises I've had in the last 48 hours was I enjoyed a WNBA game, and that the Tush Push is remaining in the NFL and was not banned, because I'm very surprised by that. But that's going to do it all right for this. All right? Man, my brain is fucked up.
That WNBA game really screwed
Really
you up.
just fucked me up, man. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you once again so much for joining us. If you want to help us out, please hit that like button, hit that share button to other people so they can come on and see this show. And of course, if you're not already, please subscribe. Help us get to that 500 subscriber mark so we can start making some money, hopefully. And that I can stop being a regular loser and be a YouTube user. If you want to go and donate any money, cold hard cash to the show as well, so that we can, get cooler, better stuff. I don't know, maybe I'll get a fucking actual background or something. You can go ahead and do that, as well as the links for the donation station and our merch store are in the description below this very video. So until next time, my name is King. That right over there is your good friend Jimbo, and we will see you later. Keep on pushing that tush, baby. Or
Be the Tush Push.
keep fucking that chicken.